Alright, so I want to tell you a story, but I might be cut short. There is definitely somebody on this trail. I just don't know where, so if they come by, I'll be cutting out a small portion of the video because I don't talk when there's other... I don't videotape bystanders if I can help it. That can range a whole mess of problems. And like I said, keeping my YouTuberness a secret is kind of a goal. At least here. Like, I don't want... Anyways. So, you know the big pile of copper I found? And I've been scrapping over a course of amount of time. I was told a story when I was in high school that this guy got in trouble for stealing a pretty significant amount of copper. And I just so happened to see him when I was going to, I was doing some errand boy crap for my grandmother. And he was sitting in a truck. I wasn't entirely sure if it was him because, you know, it's been 20 years since the story. 10 years since the story. It's been a little while. He looked a little different, but he's a redhead, so you know, they're a fairly rare breed. So it was a good gamble to think it was him. So I went and talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, you know what, man? Are you XYZ?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you get in trouble?" I was a little hush about this because I don't know how he would have took it, you know. Some people are weird about that, but I went and asked him if he got in trouble for copper-related things, or scrapping metal-related things. And he said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I know you did it back in the day. I was curious if you knew anything about any stash piles near the river. And I was just kind of wondering if it happened to be one of yours." And he said he wasn't sure, but it's possible. And he told me of another one here, another one near town, if it's still there. So that's kind of what we're doing today, which today is Friday, by the way, because that's what I'm doing now. Telling you what day it is, the day I shoot this, and today is Friday. He said there's another pretty substantial amount, and that, you know, it's free game to anyone that finds it. And I just talked to one of my affiliates, I suppose. I don't know what the heck to call him. I don't believe he has power over me for me to call him a boss. And I don't think we're close enough to be called really friends, per se. He's like my father's age. Not that it ever really counts in the friend department. I mean, I guess we're friends. One of the few people I talk to, so closest thing to friends I probably got. So, we were, I was talking to him about it, and he said if you find it, bring it down to him, and he would go ahead and pay me outright to save me that extra 2-mile backpacking trip, which is fine with me. Like, I'm not getting a receipt, and I might be losing ever so slight amount of money, but to not have to strip it all the way down, to not have to carry it an extra 2 miles, to not have to deal with my grandmother trying to interrogate me and act like I'm breaking some sort of law, it's a good deal. Like, if I lose $10 on every 30 pounds just to avoid all those headaches, I can live with that. So yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. We gotta be coming up on wherever this person is. So imagine he's at the lookout. So I'm probably gonna end this here. For now, we're gonna come back. The goal is to get over this. and get up to the next road. And I want to hit the power line and see if I can find anything. And if I can't, I'm hoping to come out by a cemetery and then wrap around back to the house. Oh, excuse me. I did look up the satellite map and zoomed in on the area to see how the trail system was, to see what could be saw on how efficiently I could do this. And it's apparently 1,500 feet, so 500 yards from, hey, here comes a train, from here to the road I want to get to, if I go completely straight. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Once I get somewhere that I'm away from, definitely not going to run into people, I'll get back to you. Alright, so the road I want is 200-300 yards that way, but there's a trail here, and it doesn't have any of those there do not travel signs, because you'll get tased and prosecuted and electrocuted and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to get up there and then follow this path instead of just scaling the hillside. This is basically uncharted territory, so I guess we'll kind of see how I want to do this. There's a path on the opposite side, but I know I don't want to be on that half of the gorge, because then I'm going to have to cross it eventually. I figured I could follow this deer path up to that more level path, and it'll be a slightly a slightly easier plan. Let me get up there. The ground's a bit softer than I was expecting, and I might need both hands. Let me get up there, and we'll talk. There's the trail, all the way down there. Wasn't all that bad. Couple of spots were a bit slippier than I would like, but not all that bad. It's like, best way for me to describe it is like trying to walk on like wet clay. Like if you get a bunch of like river silt and you put it in a bathtub and you angle the bathtub uphill and you try to like run, that's kind of how I would describe it. Luckily, I don't think we're all that far away from the road, considering the amount of trash in the woods. It's always a good indicator that you're near something people built. I ain't gonna lie, I'm half tempted to try to roll some of these down the hill. I'm not gonna do that, because I'm not sure how far I gotta go, and I want to save all the energy I can. Now the question's gonna be, do I shoot straight up and follow the road, which is not exactly what I want to do, or do I follow this path one way or the other until I come out to basically the road anyway? I mean, here's the thing. Looking up the hill, I'll be able to see if there's anything interesting, better than looking down the hill. But once I get to the top, I'm not going to want to come down for something simple. I mean, you kind of got to weigh it out, you know? From the trail to this point is about half of what this is, or a third of what this is. So, it's not that big of a deal. And I see some stuff over there that might be interesting. I think I'm gonna walk the trail a little bit. I'm gonna take the easy trail for a little while, maybe both directions. See if I see anything interesting, and if not, I'll just go right up the hill here. I'll follow this deer trail and just go straight up. I don't worry about this too much, because all those little trees are like really good footholds. Handholds, footholds. stability. They're good stability. So I ain't worried about getting up there. Maybe closer to the top will be an issue, but the bulk of it will be a cakewalk. Let's get moving. I don't want to make this video too boring, and I do want to explore on camera. So while I'm in the easier parts, I'll run the camera. You know, you see there's like a level down there, like a level area. That's where I was gonna go. But then I saw this was just it was about 100 yards further up. And I was like, well, you know what? I think we'll take this one because it's a little closer to the road, and it looks like it's slightly more defined. There are a bunch of like down trees and stuff, but I doubt anyone has used this in a long time for anything. So it's not, it's pretty much what I expect. So yeah, what can we talk about? What can we talk about to make this walk go by all smooth and cozy like almost like I'm walking with a friend? I cut the grass. I did it. And to celebrate, I bought a bottle of Jim Beam honey whiskey. I didn't go celebrate St. Patty's Day. So I didn't drink any whiskey or get any Guinness or do any of those American Irish things. So I bought a bottle of whiskey a little bit late and decided to indulge a bit while I cut the grass. So that was exciting. And I'd like to say that I made it through the whole way without smoking any cigarettes. But I mean, I only half failed because I said it's a win if I make it through without buying cigarettes. I did bum one right before bedtime. I honestly don't know why. Like, I think it was more just to fail because it's just what I do. I didn't completely have like a big on need for it. I was just coming back and I just happened to see a guy that I knew smoked Reds, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get me one of those. Now he kind of owed me for I found his keys once, so I thought, you know, I might as well cash in. Here's something interesting. Now that's this top here is brass, and I'd probably be willing to bet that container is depressurized, but I didn't bring wrenches with me to get that off, and it's probably like 1/4 of a pound. So like, brass is something I want. Brass is something I'm looking for. But if it was copper, I'd work harder. There's also a smashed toilet here, which could also have brass bits on it. But once again, I brought wire cutters, multi-tool screwdriver, and my actual multi-tool. I didn't bring anything to actually, you know, I didn't bring like a whole freaking socket set. So, or oh, chipmunk, sorry buddy, didn't mean to scare you. I didn't bring like a whole I didn't bring Grandpa's tool bag with me. I wanted to travel kind of light. I did add a significantly better box cutter to the arsenal, and I did bring my good, yeah, it's all plaster. I did bring my good screwdriver. Well, my favorite screwdriver. I don't know how good it is, but it's one of my favorites, so I brought it along. There's something that might be interesting. Nothing I'm gonna mess with because, like, once again, I don't have the tools for the job. That might have something inside of it. It's a pulley motor, so it's probably cast aluminum. And inside could very well be a copper motor, but I feel like that's the chamber that pushes the kinetic energy to spin the thing, so it'd probably be like iron parts in there. Like gears and sprockets and stuff. But I don't have the right tools for that job either. And I'll make a mental note of it. If I ever get bored enough, I might come back for it. This is actually a really good time to do this because none of the junk is grown in yet. A couple of buckets, a bowl. Looks like some big metal sheet of some sort, which is interesting, but I don't want to climb up there just yet until I see something that's definitive. I see a TV pretty far up there, but this is the path I plan to go up, so I'm going to save it for last. I want to explore the length of the trail at the bottom, then go up. This part here, I can get to at any time. Like, pretty much any time. Granted, I don't break a leg or something. So the stuff that's right here isn't a huge deal. I'm going to give this a complimentary twist. Yeah, I don't think so. If I had even a hammer, I might be able to knock it loose. In which I feel fairly confident that it's depressurized. 50 cents isn't worth the guesswork. I mean, worst case scenario is I would loosen the top and it would fly off. But that's highly doubtful. So we're getting into things that are rounder, that made it further downhill. A lot of tires down here. Giant Craftsman something. What are you? Dead body? Empty. Come on. Come on, how do you open it? Full of methamphetamine. I can't open it with one hand. Oh. I'm an idiot. It's a Craftsman lawnmower bag thing. I'm an idiot. You heard it here first, folks. Computer monitor, or computer housing. Always genuinely interesting, but besides these wires, there's not much to really do with this. I do think I'll come back and snip all the wires off, just because I'm here. Actually, I am going to come back and snip all those wires off, just because I'm here. Alright, let's go a couple more steps, and this is going to start leading downhill, and downhill is definitely not where I want to go. There's something else there that's electronic. We'll check out on the way back. Like, I understand in a way why people do this, and it's kind of good for people like me, because, you know, I can't get a normal job. Nobody wants to hire me because I'm some sort of, like I said, I got this dark cloud. There's a TV that looks not cleaned. Let's go grab that too. But I got this, like I said, I got this metaphorical dark cloud where somebody really doesn't like me. Or maybe I did do something bad. I'm not gonna roll that out. My memories don't really help matters. yeah, we're starting to go downhill here, and I don't really want to do that. So, I guess I haven't really been trying much either, but, I mean, I don't care how strong you are, how smart you are. You get treated a certain way long enough, you'll give up, eventually. So this is a really good way, a good, honest way of making money. So, I can only fault people so much for this, but, I mean, it's not really great. It's not a good thing for the world. Although, I mean, what do we really know? What do we really know? How much harm can a tire actually cause the environment? Because, you know, people grow plants in tires. Worst case scenario is a tree grows through the tire, you know, so what? We're going downhill and I didn't want to do that. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I am strong. We are fine. But, the real, besides just being kind of disrespectful, the real problem with having tires in the woods is primarily it's a breeding ground for mosquitoes because it gets stagnant water in it. And I think that's probably the biggest harm, because ultimately I don't know what the true impact is on the environment, besides, you know, increasing mosquito population and, you know, being, you know, disrespectful. I do believe that it's wrong to do it, but I mean, it's not the same as throwing away things that wrap around sea turtles' necks, because, you know, if anything, an animal might make a tire its home, not get killed by it. In my opinion. In my opinion. God, I wish I wasn't getting old and fat. I would just, like, zigzag this entire freaking hillside. It's like, I know there's so many treasures, and now's, like, one of the perfect times to actually look for them. But I know I wouldn't have the energy to search every inch of this. Okay, I know what we're doing. I'm going to head back, snag up all the easy bits, and I'm probably going to head up and get those 2 televisions, and then I think I'm going to come back down, and I'm going to follow this out. Because, yeah, it goes downhill than uphill, but that looks like more fun. That just looks like more fun. Plus, I think we're going to find stuff the whole length of this. Because here's another thing. This is another, I'm going to assume, yeah, this is a tiny television. Probably not much to it, but I'm going to snip off all those wires. So, I'm going to get, like, the computer, that thing down the hill, that little TV. I'm going to snip all the good bits off of it, and then I'll show you the yield from that, and then we'll start our ascent, I think. It'll probably take me a good 20 minutes, so I'm not going to try to jibber-jabber through the whole thing, and I'm not going to get a good camera view of me cutting wires, so, you know. Here's something that's interesting. Now, somebody was here, because if this is a full, oh no, it's a full battery. So, that didn't just roll over. It was in that spot, and somebody moved it. Now this is interesting, because I want to get sulfuric acid to do a project, but this one's also cracked, and it feels a bit lighter than what a battery should be. So I'm assuming the sulfuric acid is gone. But that's probably like $20. I don't know. I don't know what batteries go for. I'm not going to carry a battery out of here. I did that once. And that's not going to be the goal. What I am going to do is I'm going to take that battery and I'm going to roll it down this hill. because the trail's right there. And if I get it down there, I could take the trail down, grab it, go back up, and walk it out. That easy. So I am going to roll that down the hill, down to that creek area, and then come back for it some other day. But somebody was definitely here. Alright, that's enough show and tell. I'm going to get this cleaned up. It'll probably take me 30 some minutes. Well, you know, let's I don't know how I can get it on camera, me throwing this thing off the hill. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be somewhat interesting. I don't have an actual mount. I was looking for it, like a body cam mount. So I have to like buy one or make one. So yeah, that's a thing. And I didn't bring my actual thing, I don't think. Yeah. You guys are going to miss the show. But there's a little, like, ravine thing here. That if I can get it down to that down tree, that would be the ultimate goal. Because I don't want it to go in the water. Because, like I said, I'm not a tree hugger, but I'm not a scumbag. So, I don't want to get the battery in the creek. But I do want to get it further downhill without having to carry it. So, I'll be back once I clean that up. We'll take a look at what we get. Might stop for a bit of lunch a bit early, lighten the load a bit, and see what we do. So I'm climbing further up. I got everything down there. I think I'm missing one thing, but I'll find it on the way back through. So, anybody want to think that there might be a door to another dimension? Think if I open this, it's going to be like another place? Maybe a better world? If I can open it. Oh yeah, that's... No, just dirt. Cool looking centipede though. Big hole, probably a mole or a snake. Oh. Not sure what these are made of. I'm guessing probably iron. It's a fridge door. If I get too tired, I might just jump on it and slide down the hill. I'm just kidding. Maybe. That's a cool find though. That's probably it's probably older than me. It might be older than my dad. You can hear the cars. I'm getting closer to the road. And I'm about halfway up to the road. I'm gonna shoot across. Anything that needs more processing than I can do right here, I'm going to roll down to my stuff, if I can, without it going too far, hopefully, and process it down there. I figured it would be easier for me to traverse this, the less weight I have. I'll be back when I'm done, and we're moving on. Welcome back. So I got here at about 1, approximately, and it's 4 o'clock, so I think it's time to move on. I got a bulk of it. Like, I kind of feel bad because I'm leaving a bunch of this behind, but in retrospect, it's not really that much. And the motor out of the vacuum cleaner, I'm not going to bother with that because the screws are rusted in, and I tried, thwacking it off a tree, but it ain't budging. So figure that's a no-go. I did find this, and I thought it was a score. I thought like, wow, look, actual copper wire. It's just a little pinprick of copper in there, and it might even be just copper coated. This stuff is this isn't exactly what I specialize in, so I'm not sure what it is. This is like, I imagine this is like television cable. I think that's what it is, like coax. And I'm not sure, like what they use for that typically. Sometimes it's steel or copper, aluminum, copper coated. So I think I'm going to leave that behind because it's a really big piece, and that's a crap ton of insulation. And I don't want to, it's just a lot of extra weight to carry. So, the body count is one computer, probably eight televisions, some of them intact, some of them not so intact. So, like, I didn't get, like, the full spill out of each TV, but there was probably about 8 of them. Like I said, I just kind of rolled them down the hill to this flat area, and then dissected them when they got down here. So, I think there was about 8 televisions that I got. I'm not too worried about, like, scouring this whole hillside, like, because people are going to throw more stuff here, and I'm never going to find everything. So, you know, if I get most of it, if I try to stick to, like, one elevation and get most of it from that elevation, and then go up and down from there, you know, I think it'll pretty much be virtually, if I do it, like, once or twice a year, it'll be basically never ending. Anyways, I gotta stop and eat. So, that's gonna be the next order of business, and we're gonna walk out of here. But body count: 8 televisions, 1 computer, a blender. That was fun. I couldn't find the screws, so I grabbed it by the cord and smashed it off a rock. That was exciting. A vacuum cleaner, and I think that's basically it. Like I said, the majority of what you're gonna find when you're exploring the woods is mostly going to be televisions, because most junkyards take them. You have to pay for them to take them, so people just, you know, throw them off the hillsides. That's another reason why you see a crap ton of tires. They're harder to get rid of. I don't know what this is. Oh, I found a guitar amp too. There's not much left of it. It's been there for a really long time, but that was something unique. I'm not sure if that's exclusive to guitars, but I know of it as a guitar amp. This thing, I think it might have been a really old TV. Maybe. I'm not sure. But, you know, like I said, I'm not sure. There's still one more thing along this hillside that I saw, and I can't find again. So, I might get down on the way through. I might not, depending on if I find it. Like I said, we're getting on 5 o'clock now, and I still want to find that cemetery. I think that'd be kind of fun. That's for personal. I have a thing for cemeteries. I like Halloween and cemeteries and stuff, and a lot of more positive. I know, as grim as it sounds, a lot of more positive things have happened in cemeteries. So it's just something I kind of like. I did find an old animal carrier too. I was gonna maybe get it down here, then maybe take it sometime, but when I rolled it down the hill, the door flew off, so I figured it's probably not in the best of shape. Now this is I got this and left this aside. This is pretty much your money item for televisions. You'll find this. This is what they call the yoke. I don't completely understand that. I guess it's kind of like, you know, the good part of an egg, the good part of a television. And then the other thing you'll find on a television that's sometimes worth it, besides the power cord, is there's a cord around the outside. Now, I took all the cords from around the outside, but some of them can be aluminum. And if they're aluminum, it's basically worthless. Like, I was half considering gathering up all these heat sinks, the aluminum heat sinks, and taking them into, but at the end of the day, I would need 1,000 of them to get, you know, $5. So I was like, you know what? I'll leave that for a time when I'm more desperate, or if somebody else needs the money. You probably have about $1 worth of heat sinks up here. But I would like to show you everything I got, but I don't feel like making a mess just to clean it back up. This is the bulk of it. I would say 8-10 pounds. Probably 3 pounds is junk that has to be processed off. Plastic, rubber insulation, I assume it's graphite that they wrap the wire around on the yokes. I assume it's some sort of graphite. And like, usually I take the yoke and I smash it on a rock, and then I I just get the cleaner pieces and then smash it more when I get to the house with a hammer. But considering the somewhat almost kind of time restraint, I just decided to keep things simplistic. All else fails and I ever need money, I'll have a vacuum, motor, bits of copper wire, that coax, and a aluminum heatsink sitting up here. And, you know, it'd literally be like $2, but it'll be a mental note for me or anybody that might need it down the line. Or if I even want an adventure, like, if I go and get that other stuff, the other wire that isn't really worth stripping, maybe I'll come up here and grab this just to make it, like, worthwhile. Who knows? But I need food, so I'm going to get my stuff together, and we're going to start getting ready to walk on out of here. Or to the next adventure. If I see anything along the way, of course, I'm probably going to process it. But anything that takes more time, like the vacuum cleaner, maybe even if I find any more, like, blenders, I might leave off for another day. At least I'll know it's there. One more little tidbit of information. I found a ton of wire insulation. Really thick stuff too. Like, kind of like the stuff I was doing over by the river. But there was like a whole ton of just the insulation up there. I thought I hit the jackpot again. But it turns out somebody else stripped the wire and threw it down over the hill. So that was a little bit sad. But this is what you can expect if you go out scrapping like I do. This is what you can expect. That big load of stuff, snowball's chance in getting struck by lightning. So, yeah, it's rare. This is more accurate. When that's all cleaned up, we're probably talking about $20. That's far more accurate than $100 loads. But for me, I already do this kind of stuff for fun, so why not cash in on it? So, alright, food, water, and then walking. Catch you in a bit. Alright, I think I'm sticking to my plan. I was contemplating just turning around, or just going back down over the hill, and just calling it a day. But I still have 2 bottles of water. 4 tiny little baby oranges. And only about 10 pounds of weight, not counting the water and stuff. So, might as well keep going. I mean, I'm moderately tired, but I also couldn't sleep, and I got up at like 7:30. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, I was like, what am I going to do, you know? If I just turn around and go back, that's fine. I don't really expect to do much else except for this little self-enjoyment trip of trying to find the cemetery. Other than that, I don't have high expectations from this point forward. So, you know, if I went back, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But if I went back, what the heck am I going to do? It's still too early to finish the garden. I don't have any friends. I really don't want to sit in my room and play freaking Pixelmon for the rest of the night. YouTube has been very sad with their content. I mean, there have been some nights that I just kind of like close my eyes, scroll, and pick something just to kill the boredom until I can actually fall asleep. Like, I don't know. It must be budget cutting YouTubers or something. Like I said, I can't say much, but to be honest, now this might sound a little self-righteous or egotistical or whatever, but I think I'm what a YouTuber should be. There are some YouTubers out there, or was at one point, had the quality of almost being a TV show. And that's cool. That's cool. That's great for them. But I think the YouTube platform was made for more of those weekend warrior garage type, not wannabe professionals to cash in. But once again, what do I know? Maybe I'm nuts. Yeah, I'm probably nuts. I mean, good God. With the way things are, I've got to be nuts. Hey, there's still a ton of stuff up there. And up there. I think that's a TV all the way at the top. I definitely ain't got that kind of motivation. Here's something. That's all copper in there, right? But it's probably maybe 4 ounces, 20 grams, depending on your country. And I'm just making up numbers, but to get it out of there, it's a giant pain. So, and I don't have the right type of snips to get in there and snip every one of those little coils. So that's one of the things I left behind. But honestly, if you boil it all down, what I left behind up here, what I left behind here, if you boiled it down, it'd probably boil down to about 3 hours of time for maybe $5 in money. So, I mean, I really didn't. I think I'm making the right call, but I have been wrong before. Now this is a tad bit concerning, because now I got the trail to go that way. I'm not sure where that goes, and I have a trail that cuts that way, and I feel like they both dead end, but I'm gonna winging it. If I can get, when and if I make it to that road, if I can see a street sign to verify where I'm at, I think we'll be okay. Well, I'm gonna be okay either way. Because, to get lost here, you'd have to be like brain dead. There's no other way of saying it. You follow a trail long enough, you're gonna hit a road. Like, in less than a day around here, more than likely. So, not too worried about getting lost. Not too worried about having to making it back. Worst case scenario would be like I twist my ankle again, and that would be a giant pain. But I mean, if it got to a point where it was actually bad, and I just ditched the copper, the 10 pounds of weight, scooch my butt down the hill, and walk the trail out. I mean, contingency plans. I want to sit on that big rock, but it's so far away. Oh man, that sounds bad. And my trail's running out. Let's hope this doesn't dead end. Like I said, worst case scenario, I can go down there and follow the creek down to the main trail. Piece of cake. But I really wanted to find that. I really wanted to find that cemetery. Like I said, no real good reason. Other than I'm tired of being a fat slob that's literally doing nothing with their lives, and I'm trying to waste my life in a different way. And I kind of like cemeteries. So I made it through all right so far. I only slipped once. It's got a little brush burn. I trusted a tree too much. I think that's a hot water heater. That might have some brass bits on it. But without a big pipe wrench, not worth the climb. I don't know how much detail I went into about my horrible baked potato accident. But I thought this was kind of funny. Actually, I think this is real funny. This is super funny. So, I was making baked potatoes. They're basically pre-made. You basically just throw them in the oven, and, in 20 minutes they cook through, and you eat. Nice and simple. But being the manly man cook that I am, instead of pulling the rack out or using some sort of tool to get the potato out, I just reach in and grab the potato. And well, that goes all right, because, you guys might find out if you do actual work, you become a little more resistant to things like that. Like, the inside of your hands can handle a little bit warmer temperatures if you're quick about it. And a little bit more stab resistant. So, me just reaching in the oven and grabbing a potato, that's like 300 degrees. As long as I'm quick about it, I don't have a lot of issues. Now, the back of my hand, on the other hand, is not weathered or seasoned. And I ended up pressing it against the heating element on top of the oven, on the inside of the oven. So, now I got a pretty nasty burn, which initially I didn't think was going to be that big of a deal. Initially, I thought it was going to be fine. But then, approximately the time I was cutting the grass, the small little bubble thing that had going on peeled off, and it started to get infected. So, that's a pain. So, I have it bandaged up. So, try to keep some of the nasties out of it until it scabs over again. It's really not that bad. It's only like maybe an inch long, and about as round as a pencil. So it's not horrible, but burns are always annoying to heal, for me anyway. Now let's get on to the funny part. Here's the funny part, alright? Good old grandma. Good old grandma. She saw my hand, right? She was like, "What did you do? Good God, my little baby." That whole persona of caring that we all grow to love. Well, of course, I told her, tried to grab the potatoes out of the oven without using anything and hit the heating element. And she's like, "Oh, I did it too." So she has a burn on her hand, pretty much just like mine. But the thing that got me about it was that it's on her right hand, and she's left-handed. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I'm right-handed, so I reach in to grab the potato with my right hand. She's left-handed, but for some reason reach in to grab the potato with her right hand. So, she's copycatting me. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to. It's just funny. I don't know if I'm supposed to take something from that, but I thought it was mildly entertaining. And what am I gonna do, huh? I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going into the mountains. I have a sneaking suspicion that if I keep going up, I'm going to hit the radio tower that used to be up there. Which is not good, because that land is posted by apparently my family members, but apparently they don't care that I'm family and would, have me arrested for being there. So, no, my family's great. So I don't know what to do. I could follow this creek up, maybe. Or I could go back and just climb the hill and take the road. I think I'm a bit off course, in a way. I'm supposed to eventually, there's a road up there, and there's supposed to be a power line somewhere that cuts that way. And that power line should lead to another power line that is supposed to be where dude had stashed another thing of copper. Now, supposedly, I tried to satellite Google map it to get like a general idea of the layout, but I think I missed something. I'm gonna follow this creek up off camera for a little while, and if I think I'm getting higher in elevation, I think I'm gonna double back and hit the road. Oh, sorry, couldn't help myself. It was how often do you find a decapitated baby doll in the middle of the woods? Like once a trip, maybe, or like maybe twice. This one still has its eyeballs. It's a little smaller too. I hope I scared at least one person. I'd feel like a complete cotton-headed ninny muggets if I didn't scare at least one person. I was thinking, like I keep a lighter in my backpack for emergencies. I was thinking of keeping it till it was dark, and then have the lighter inside of it. But then I was like, how am I gonna hold the baby doll head, and the lighter, and the camera? I was like, I'll just give it a shot and see what happens. See if I scare anybody. All right, there's the road. So, I was wrong, I guess. I thought I was going to end up at the old TV or radio tower or whatever. But turns out that is not the case. I am actually at a road. What road? Not sure. A road. But this will be it. If I hit the woods again, I'll do another clip. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time. Didn't quite make it out yet. So decapitated baby doll heads, used diapers, and a ton of tarps. Like, should I call somebody? Like, okay. It's some disrespectful person dumping their trash. 98% sure. But how weird is that? Alright, you got dirty diapers, a whole pile of tarps, and baby doll heads. Like, right off the road. Freaking weird. Alright. I'm gone for real this time.